Alright, so how's it going, everybody? I want to talk a little bit about the Tomb Raider franchise today. I wanted to make a video like this a while back, kind of when Rise of the Tomb Raider first came out, because I had a lot of things to say about it. One of the biggest reasons I even bought an Xbox, well, not the only reason, because there's a lot of other exclusive games out for the Xbox One I wanted to play as well, but one of the biggest reasons I did buy it was for Rise of the Tomb Raider. I didn't want to wait a year for it to come out on the PlayStation 4. And if you are one of those people that are ending up waiting the year, I hope that when the game comes out, it has all the DLC and everything all ready for you, because believe me, if you like the first Tomb Raider, you are going to like Rise of the Tomb Raider as well. But I just want to talk about some of the things I feel like it can do better, because while I did enjoy Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I really did think it was a really good game, there were just some things that I feel like I thought this game was going to do, and that it just didn't do. And maybe it might have been no knowledge that some of the things that didn't happen in this game. Maybe it might have been no knowledge that it wasn't going to happen, but I stayed away from a lot of things about Rise of the Tomb Raider. I kind of wanted to go into it blind, and it was more of the less kind of the same as the first Tomb Raider. I mean, there was a lot more tombs. The tombs were better and stuff. The open world was a lot more giant and everything, and there was a lot more things you can do as far as combat goes. But the one thing I really wanted Rise of the Tomb Raider to improve on, and what I think it didn't improve on really at all, and in fact it might have, it's not that it got worse, but it just kind of stayed the same, was the narrative. And it's one of the biggest things that I think separates the Tomb Raider franchise so far, these two games, from the 3 Uncharted games so far, and plus the 4th one that's going to come out here in a month, is just the narrative and the story of the game. Once again, if you've played the first Tomb Raider and everything, I mean, a lot of people love this game, including me, but the story and everything was just, I mean, you didn't care about anyone except Lara Croft. I mean, they did a good job making you care for the main character, but all the side characters, all her companions, and even like the main villain, you don't even care for it. It's not like you're not really rooting for the main villain to die, and you're not really hoping that her sidekicks or friends stay alive. It's you know, you're just kind of like, whatever. The characters are almost kind of throwaway characters. And with Rise of the Tomb Raider, I felt more of the same. They bring back, I can't even remember this guy's name now, but they bring back this one dude, the big guy, I don't know what his name is, from the first game, and he's just in there for a few seconds, and they try to make you care, and they're really trying to like almost like push this friendship on you that him and Laura have, and you're just not buying it. And it's just the narrative. It's that simple. It's the biggest thing that separates the Tomb Raider games from the Uncharted games is the story and the characters. And this one thing, because you know we all know they're going to make another Tomb Raider game, and I hope they do. What I really hope the next one accomplishes is a really great story, because that's what I honestly thought was going to be in Rise of the Tomb Raider. Like I said, I stayed away from a lot of things. Maybe if I actually watched more trailers and more, and read about some more news about the game, maybe I would have realized it wasn't going to be like that. But that was just really kind of the disappointing thing about Rise of the Tomb Raider with me. And the ending boss fight as well. I mean, there's been a lot of games recently where like the ending boss fights, and even in Uncharted 3, the ending boss fight in Uncharted 3 was really lackluster too, especially compared to Uncharted 2. If you remember the ending boss fight in Tomb Raider, the first one, it was pretty much you just like dodging around and then hitting the enemy in quick time events and everything. And I mean, Rise of the Tomb Raider is sort of the same. You're just dodging a helicopter and stuff. I'm not going to give too much away in case you haven't played the game, but it just felt I don't want to say it felt rushed, but it just very lackluster, just very almost like not very much thought put into the ending, and like, oh, let's just wrap this up. Now, the one thing that Tomb Raider really gets right, the first and second, is the gameplay. The gameplay is absolutely amazing, and there's some things that there's some of the climbing mechanics that you've seen in the first and second Tomb Raider. It looks like Naughty Dog has gotten like has liked, and it looks like they're implementing some of those climbing mechanics into Uncharted 4 with the way Nathan Drake scales up the walls and stuff. It's a lot more fluid, kind of like how it was in Tomb Raider and everything. So there's a lot of things that Tomb Raider gets right, specifically the gameplay, the gunplay and everything. It's not bad. Like it's really not bad. It's nothing great. It's nothing to like really advertise or anything. Nothing to really say that it's nothing spectacular. But the gunplay and everything is good. The one thing I really like about the Tomb Raider games, I mean, they're rated M, so I mean they're brutal. And every time you die with Laura, especially if there's like if you like miss a jump or whatever, I mean the deaths they show of her dying are just absolutely brutal. If any of you guys played the first Tomb Raider, that section of that game where you're like going down the river, and then like if you were to like miss, because you have to like dodge like these things coming at you, if you like miss one, like there's this one death scene where a pole just goes like up her neck right here and just out the top of her head, I mean, the death scenes are absolutely gruesome in the Tomb Raider games, but I think the one thing I really want to see in the third Tomb Raider, and I really want to see it get right, is just the story, because that's really the only thing Tomb Raider is missing right now, and that's the biggest thing that separates it, and not just the story, but the characters as well. That's the biggest thing that really separates it between the Tomb Raider and the Uncharted series. It's the narrative and it's the characters. That's I mean, the gameplay in Uncharted is absolutely awesome, but at the same time, the characters are awesome. Everyone loves the characters, and everyone wants to see the story. And Tomb Raider, it's just it's almost like I don't want to say they don't care, because there's obviously an effort to put a story in there, and there was a lot more effort in Rise of the Tomb Raider, I feel like, than there was in the first Tomb Raider. But once again, you just didn't care about anything. You didn't care about the main villain. You just didn't care, and you didn't really feel attached to anyone but Lara Croft, which at least they got that right. At least you're attached to the main character of the game. So hopefully in the third Tomb Raider game, they are able to get that right. I don't know when that game will be coming out. I mean, Rise of the Tomb Raider literally just came out like 5-6 months ago or something like that. So we probably have until like 2017, 2018 possibly, until the third Tomb Raider comes out. But hopefully when that comes out, they improve on the characters and they do an amazing storyline. And I understand that Rise of the Tomb Raider is like more open world, you know, and like Uncharted is this linear game. And a lot of times with the open world games, it's really hard to kind of, I mean, there's obviously examples of open world games doing it right. You can look at Red Dead Redemption, you can look at Mass Effect, and there's a lot of other games out there too of being open world and having a great narrative. But sometimes with some of these open world games, it's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for here? They kind of lose, the pacing isn't there, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Some open world games, like I said, with Mass Effect and Red Dead Redemption, even though there's all this side stuff to do and all this, and you can go out and do your other things, it's almost like the pacing is still always there, and you're always like still connected with this universe. And Rise of the Tomb Raider, it's kind of like, it just kind of feels all over the place. And so I mean, hopefully they can improve on that when the third one comes out. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. If you guys played Rise of the Tomb Raider, let me know what you guys thought down below in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and I hope to see you back in my next one.